sitting here. So.
In a world where laughter was king, when everything you know was wrong.
We are fighting the fake news.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Let's set some boundaries with a spoiled control freak.
Is that why you're doing this? Well, then get your shit together. All your shit. So it's together.
In a few hours, she'll probably be sane enough to work herself into some sort of towering Jesus-based rage at the hazy recollection of being seduced by some kind of cruel Samoan.
I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans.
Who are these people, these faces? Where do they come from? They look like caricatures of used car dealers from Dallas. And sweet Jesus, there are a hell of a lot of them at 4:30 on a Sunday morning.
So I guess I'm going to start the show. Is this working? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. Because like the intro video was a little choppy from my side, but that's okay.
Sucks.
I get the high speed gig internet. Okay, no, fuck that. That was a whole goddamn fiasco to get the internet sped up. Did I ever tell you about what happened with all of that?
No.
You're gonna fucking talk shit about the internet. We're gonna start right with that.
All right. Well, welcome to First World Problems with Nick Vicious.
Record the intro. Let's hit the shit. I got nothing else. I'm fucking tired. The goddamn sun's going down at 4:00. I've already had a nap. I had to wake myself up from the nap to come into the fucking studio to record this shit because I kind of promised that we were going to. So
now,
I'm
mind you, he turned 41 back in June. So
yeah, I'm old.
I guess the nap time is completely
motherfucker. You turned 41 back in June too.
Exactly.
So listen, let's not play this game like I'm the only grumpy old man in the fucking show.
Oh hell no!
Look, there's no mood lighting on either side. There's no cat buttholes this time. Just two raging assholes, and now he's got me started on the internet shit. So I'm going to tell you the whole story because I promised some entertainment tonight. You've put up with enough of other bullshit all day long, including for me. You might as well get a laugh out of this. All right, so I moved to San Francisco. I got the only fucking internet provider around here is Xfinity. Actually, that's not true. There's several options, but I'm an Xfinity guy. So I got the Xfinity internet. We got it set up. I let this run for a year and a half, something like that. I had my own modem, right? That modem plugged into my own wireless router, with the little antennas and stuff. All was good. Decided to start doing some more serious gaming, and I was like measuring my internet speed, and they had this offer.
I figured gaming was going to factor into this.
Of course it did. They had this offer for gig speed internet. Sounds great. Love it. So I went over and I realized as I was trying to make the order that you cannot get Xfinity gig speed internet with without renting Xfinity gear. Okay.
Oh Jesus.
So no, it works out for the better here. But I'm going to explain. I'm a low voltage guy. I program AV systems. I can put basically like if you want to string two fucking paper cups and a string together, I will make it so that you can communicate between those. That's my specialty in real life. And I learned something through this process, and I want to say it was like a good thing, but truthishly, I'm a little embarrassed about the whole fucking thing. And if you listen through this, you're going to learn something about Xfinity, whatever the hell it's called now. So
That's
I go
Xfinity.
Yeah, but it's Xfinity now, not Comcast. Okay, so I go and I get the Xfinity stuff. And it's nice stuff. I'm not mad about the stuff. I'm actually not mad about the upgrade. I'm mad about what happened before the upgrade. So I get onto the thing. I set it up. It's all good. They have an app that pairs with it. So I pair the app. It goes to my phone. I start seeing all this weird shit on the app. I start seeing devices connected to my Wi-Fi and my internet router that do not belong to me. That concerns me. I program stuff for people on this side of that connection. All of my, you can get to all my stuff from my computer, whatever. It's not good. You don't want to have your computer open to the public ever.
Hell no.
Seeing all these devices that were not mine was really concerning. And so I go in and I'm kicking them off, and they come back and they start showing up again. I'm like, this is not right. I want to know what's going on here. Because I'm a little freaked out at this point. I couldn't get it to stop. I'll spare you a lot of the techno bullshit, but essentially what was happening is this device that Comcast sent out. I'm just going to call it. I mean, it was always Comcast when I was a kid. That's why I keep doing it. They set it out with the same starting IP address. So if you just there's more. If you just take this motherfucker out of the box and hook it up, they all have the same starting IP address. But I live in a multi-dwelling unit. Okay, so the way this works,
we call that an apartment, by the way, people, just in case.
Don't call me out. That's not very nice. I like to, we can just at least like try to keep up airs here.
Hey, look, there's no shame in it.
Multi-dwelling unit. That's
okay.
That's what the bald guy on. That's what the guy on Salem Network says. What the fuck is the house guy's name? He used to deal coke in the 80s. Shit, I can't remember. Everybody in the audience is going, it's this guy. They know who it is. Anyway, he calls it a multi-dwelling unit, so I'm going to do the same thing. Apartment if you're fucking low rent, and I'm not, because this is San Francisco. It's not.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I forgot. San Francisco, definitely a multi-dwelling unit.
Multi-dwelling unit. Thank you very much. Anyway, the whole point of that is that there is literally one cable coming from the Comcast demarcation point where where their network ends and mine starts. That's across the street. I mean, I've seen them service the box a bunch of times, but there's one pipe into the building that serves all of the internet in the building. What was actually happening is that when they sold me the self-installation kit, they missed a piece, and the piece is a little bit of it. It's a filter. Okay. So if you think of the internet as a big pipe, all you're really using is, and I'm making bad hand signals. I'm sorry. That was demonstrating the size of the whole pipe, not anything. We're not making gang signs. Anyway, you only get a little bit of this, right? So what is stop, Rob? So every time you are hooked up to the big pipe, in this case, you gotta put the little filter guy on it, and the filter makes sure that the traffic is just yours. I mean, I'm not going to explain the technical part of it, but it doesn't
just make sure that the premium weed gets through, not the bad
yes
stuff.
Yeah, you don't want the swag, you want the primo.
There you go.
So it's the primo filter, and what it does is it isolates your node from the network. They did not send that. I did not know it needed to be sent. I did not realize that all of the equipment that they sent out started with the same IP address. When you put it all on the same cable in the same building, it makes it one network. So in reality, when I was sitting there resetting gear, it wasn't my gear I was resetting. I was turning the fucking people up above me in the building. I was turning their internet off. I did it multiple times. I changed passwords. I kicked their devices off. I was wreaking fucking havoc in this building for everyone that had the same internet that I did. And so I finally called Xfinity and was like,
was this before or after you became Building Super?
Before.
Okay.
And in fact, the really fucked up thing is that the filter that I bought, I had to solve my own problem. The Xfinity support people had no idea what I was talking about. I found a nice Reddit answer that was like, oh, well, that's what the problem is. So I got and ordered the filter from Amazon, put it on my shit. Also changed all of my stuff so that it's not on the same network segment as everybody else in the building. And now we're cool. So you see, when you start talking shit about my internet, I put a lot of work into that internet. Came out to California.
Put a lot of work into that internet.
California, where they got the good internet. That's where it was a whole ordeal. And it's good now. I still don't get gig speeds, but who does? It's good enough.
See, the thing is that when you say who gets the gig,
why is your microphone flashing in my face? What's going on with that?
Oh, it's just a meter.
I didn't notice that before.
Yeah,
is that a new addition?
No, it's just for some odd reason decided to activate.
Am I seeing? Oh, okay.
I decided to activate this time, and I can't.
It makes you look more lively. I like it.
Oh, well, that's good because I need something to make me seem lively. So nobody really gets the gig speeds because a lot of computers don't have the processing power to handle the gig speed.
My fucking computer does. I got an extreme Wi-Fi adapter. It even says so in the box.
Oh, see, and Wi-Fi will always be slower than advertised speed. Now, if you hardline
not if you do the right kind of Wi-Fi. I'm just saying. Okay, I will agree with you. Most people, like the 2-in-1 that I'm recording on, it's not my $4,000 gaming desktop. This probably doesn't do those kind of speeds. Doesn't, and that truthfully is probably why the intro was a little stagnant. You've been fine. I've not had any problem hearing you during the show. It was just
because I'm hardlined and I have gig speeds.
Oh, so it's I don't care who fucked up. It doesn't matter. We didn't have anything to really talk about anyway, other than I was bitching at Rob that I was grumpy and tired. And in the middle of that, I was like, just start recording and we'll just do it. I don't care. Rob has some stuff he wants to talk about, and I'm gonna bitch for a few minutes about something, and that's the show. Actually, did you get the video from that stupid car shit down in Houston?
Yes.
Okay, can we talk about that for a minute? Can you just
Absolutely.
All right. So I came across some of the things that we do like to talk about or how we want to eat the rich. I came across this video. I posted it because it's so fucking stupid that they allowed this to happen. And Rob, being the excellent best friend and executive producer of the show, got the video. And so we have stuff to talk about.
I cut the music out because that was ridiculous.
That's good. All right. So this. I don't know if it's playing. This is happening in Houston. This supercar club got permission to take over I-10. And so the fuzz comes out, and look at them shutting the freeway down for all of these commuters, so all these rich fuckers can come and use the car.
We're talking exotics. We're talking Lamborghinis and McLarens
and Rob's goofy ass comment. And Rob's goofy ass comment when I put it up was like, well, if I had a fucking big car like that, I'd want to and I'm like, go, you're so
I wouldn't
rich,
want to drive with you peasants.
Then don't. We're not asking you to. We really would prefer that you don't do that. And to take your rich ass to a fucking track. Go rent the seriously. If you got enough money in that club to afford those cars, you can go rent Sonoma. You could do it. That's a much more interesting thing.
How are people going to see you?
And now the rub. Because that's what it's all about. It's being seen.
Yeah.
Boy, when are we going to eat these people? It's coming soon. People are getting sick of this shit, man. They really are. And we continue to erode the middle class in America.
I used to be middle class. Now I'm broke ass poor.
Oh yeah, no, I make 6 figures and I'm poor as fuck. I'm my friend Cooper has a phrase for that. Well, I mean, at least it applies to where I live, which is San Francisco poor. And there's a lot of us around. And it's pretty disheartening because stuff like this shows up and it's just being rubbed in your face. Imagine the arrogance involved in assuming that your car club, that looks like the commute, man. That looks like the commute home in the afternoon. And these guys come in with all their rich fucking cars and they block traffic. What if you're sitting in that traffic like, I gotta get to the hospital, or like, I mean, by
the way, on a major freaking interstate.
It's I-10, Interstate 10 in Houston. It's one of the biggest interstates in the goddamn world. And I mean, what was the show again? How many lanes were there just on the one side? 6? So it's like a 12-lane freeway. Yeah, easy, right? Plus 1, 6 lanes.
3. Yeah.
Plus
an HOV. Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, toll lane, right? Do you know they're doing that here in California now? I don't know who fucking told these people. For as much as California is as much as we're California-ing Texas is Texas-ing California. There are fucking toll lanes all through the San Francisco Bay Area now.
So they figured out the secret.
I lived here before they did that, and then I moved to Texas. Got smacked by the toll lanes. You remember where I used to live, up at the top of George Bush and DNT. Mm-hmm. And the only way for me to get to work was to come down the Dallas North Tollway, and you paid every time you did it. And I kind of got used to it. And so, like, I'm not afraid of the toll lanes here. It's not like that. But when it's like $20 to get from one part of 101 to the next part, dude, what the fuck?
I was
And
going to say,
this,
based on California pricing, something tells me what would be like a $3 trip here in Dallas would be, $20 in California.
well, and I just don't understand. And I'd say the same thing about it in California that I do in Texas. The people own that land. That is owned by the state of California. What business does the state have of using the people's land and using the money the people give the transportation department to sell us back a lane? They've done it all the way through the Bay Area. Like there's toll lanes everywhere. But then there's this gigantic, I don't know if you're familiar, you're not, so I'll explain it. There's what we call the capital city freeway. It's Dwight Eisenhower freeway is what it is. It's I-80. And 80 goes from, literally, it starts in San Francisco. That's where it starts. And it runs all the way to the East Coast. And so as part of that in California, it goes from San Francisco through Sacramento, the state capital, and then through Reno. So if you're doing any of things in those areas, you are going to interact with I-80. And once you get out of Sacramento and you start going up the mountain, the Sierra Nevada, it's fine. I mean, this time of winter, you got to be careful because of the snow, but it's fine. But from Sacramento to San Francisco Bay Area, San Francisco itself, like the Oakland Bay Bridge, has always been impacted. And I mean, like when we were working on the Michael Savage show, or not when we were, but when I was, before I came out to Texas and then you joined me. Sorry about that. I used to work on the weekends in Sacramento at KFBK. And so I'd work at KGO, KSFO in San Francisco, where the show was based. Some of the times we'd be out in Marin at Michael's house. By the way, if you ever listen to that show, this guy would tell you all the time how he was allergic to fucking everything. Do you remember that? He had allergies to everything. Oh, yeah. All right. I can now reveal 10 years later that when I took the job with Savage, we were originally, Doug and I were living at one of his houses.
The Hill House, right? The
Hill House. Yes, sir. And I can tell you now for a fact, because it's been so long that I doubt he could sue me if this was ever released. Damn it, I'm terrible. I have pictures too. Hermione, my cat, lived at the Hill House.
He's supposedly allergic to her.
He never saw her because I knew when he was coming. She had a crate. What we would do is I'd put her in the crate and I would take her outside and put her in like one of the cars or something. If I knew she had good warning he was coming, or she'd go in the crate. She was really funny at this age. I would tap on the top of the crate. I'd say, "Come on, let's go to work, Hermione. Let's go to work." And she would run and she'd get in the crate. So we always had time to hide her. He never said a word about it. So I'm calling total bullshit on his allergies. He's just a rich guy that likes to bitch about stuff.
Oh, absolutely. He is the poster child for money does not buy happiness.
But I learned a lot of stuff from him about some interesting topics. Like, the tough thing is that whenever you were dealing with Savage, that was tough, because he was in character and ready to fucking eat somebody's soul. And he did frequently. And it was usually either mine or Doug's or Robert's at one point or another. But I learned a lot from him whenever we got to talk to Mike. And Mike was okay.
Now, Mike was the character.
No. Savage was the character. Oh,
sure.
I see what you got me there. Yeah, no. Yeah. No, I don't know. So kind of side note about the Hill House and stuff, but I just thought it was hella funny about the allergies and I don't even remember where we got onto this talking about the cat and the allergies. Something came up. Rob, get us back on track.
You were talking about San Francisco. You were working at KSFO, KGO, and you were up going to Sacramento.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were talking about the roadways. That's right. And then I got stuck.
Oh, sorry. Hey, there
My
you go.
bad. I didn't realize this keyboard I was finger fucking down here actually had stuff on it, but clearly it does.
Oh.
Hey. Nothing is what happens below the cameras. I could have my no shorts on. You don't know. I do.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I am wearing clothes, thankfully. But anyway, so when we were in San Francisco, I was working at KGO so thank you for recovering what the fuck I was talking about, because I don't remember. I'm a burnt out hippie. Get off on another topic. You're gonna have to remind me again what I was talking about. I'm kidding.
I-80.
I'm kidding. I remember. So anyway, when we were commuting back and forth, I would commute on the weekends. And the traffic is just, I mean, the people from the valley want to come to the fucking city. The people from the city want to go to the valley, you're going skiing or you're going up into the mountains to do whatever. So there's a lot of like back and forth traffic on that road segment. It has been that way since I was a teenager. It's never looked any different than it looks right now. They in the whole time that I've been alive, they didn't expand the roadway. They didn't do any of that shit until... What is going on back there?
I'd like to know.
Do you need to go check that?
No, they blew by, but that's
Okay.
odd.
Were those cats? Or was that Nick? Was that Mrs. Rotten, Nikki Rotten?
No, that was a constable.
Oh, it was a police.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I live right down the street from the hospital here in the city, so I hear the sirens now. Yeah, a little bit. Boy, and you see, you think I live in the fucking ghetto. They're not supposed to be coming by your house.
This
They
used to be a nice neighborhood.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, shit.
For those that are just joining us, the cops finally found Rob Rotten. This could be interesting here shortly. I swear I didn't tell him. They pull up into your yard? I can't see. Oh, that's okay.
It's okay. Neither can I, but I don't think so. I don't see the flashing lights anymore. So
We'll find out shortly.
yeah,
This could be our best episode ever. See, literally, the minute I start talking about the cat and savage shit starts happening. That's why this story was embargoed for as long as it was. Anyway, the point I was trying to make in my long-winded fashion is that I have been back and forth across that roadway, I-80 from San Francisco to Sacramento, a lot in my life. Previous when I lived here, even now, and it's never been any different they never did any work to it. And the fucked up thing, if you know the roadway I'm talking about, it literally goes through a giant fucking bypass of it's field. You could expand it into eternity as far as I'm concerned from right there. You could have the first 55 fucking lane road in California right down I-80. You'd have enough space for it. Never happened until the state of California figured out how to do toll lanes. Guess what? Now they're building new roads and they're going to sell that shit back to us.
well,
So
that's
you'll be able to
because
take
that's how they're being
road.
funded. Yeah,
The fuck they
because-
are. Then what happened to all the goddamn taxes we paid for the road over the goddamn years?
come on.
What were we
You can't be
funding? What were
naive.
we funding?
You know that
know,
your
I know
money
I'm
didn't go
not.
for that.
No, I'm not naive. I know exactly what happened to it.
Yeah, you know it
got
didn't.
paid it got paid to a bunch of bullshit contractors.
Yeah,
There's a joke. It used to be a joke with Caltrans when you were driving past them that it's like there's only one guy actually working. Everybody else is just a supervisor.
Mhm.
And it frustrates me for the same reason that it frustrated me in Texas, where it's just like, I don't understand how I'm having the land that we paid for in taxes sold back to me. What happened to all the money we gave you to fix this shit in the first place? Are they still out there?
yeah. And I've had another vehicle come by.
Ooh, human drama in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, as long as they're not at your house.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if they are or not. Let's
Do you
see
wanna-
here.
Do you want to pause the show? You can pull up your cameras.
Oh, that's I have the one, just the doorbell.
Okay.
Let's see here.
That's good. Pull up the ring. They standing out there with guns? If they are, you may have other things to do tonight.
It's possible that
No, it's not. You are not nearly interesting enough for the cops to show up at your house at 10 o'clock.
Okay, there's some shit going down in the neighborhood.
What are you hearing?
I just saw more flashing lights, and I just see them going by. Okay, so they're definitely not coming to my house.
That's all we really needed. Well,
Yeah.
we knew they weren't definitely. I knew they weren't coming to your house unless it was a mistake.
Well, there
if it-
was a possibility, but I'm not going to talk about it here.
Okay. We have things to discuss off camera now. That's
Yeah.
you're more interesting than I thought. Cops aren't showing up at my house for any goddamn reason. Of course, they'd have to call me to get into the building.
Oh, there you go.
Which is the funny part because I run the building. Which, hey, listen, it's been raining, so I have put the floor wet sign down and down like several times in the last week. Oh, and the mail lady's out, so her replacement doesn't have a key fob, and they have to call me. I'm doing my work. I really am. I'm managing her real good. Did I tell you what happened during the air show? I don't know if that ever. I think I told you, but I don't know that it ever made it onto the show. So they do Fleet Week here in San Francisco every year, and I was super excited because it's a touristy thing. So I don't generally like big crowds. But there are other ways of viewing these events. One of them was the one I came up with, which was to go up on the roof.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Because I have access to the key box, and I went and got the key and went up and opened the door. And so the door has one of those fire alarm latches on it. Like if you open the door, it's going to turn the alarm on. So you got to just defeat that. But other than that, it's just a push bar to open the door. So I turn the alarm off and push the door open and go out onto the roof. What is 7 stories, 8-story building, right? So I can see above everything for the most part. And you get this. There's some video. I don't have it with me, but I took some video of the Blue Angels and stuff zipping around San Francisco. It was fantastic until I heard the goddamn door slam behind me. And realized that the little key that I had, that was just for the alarm. There was no lock on the outside of the door. The push bar was it, and I was fucking locked on the roof. I was probably not supposed to even be on the roof. I don't know. I'm an employee. I'm an actual employee. Like there's paperwork that's been signed and probably covered on their insurance. That would have been the only thing I would really have been worried about, or could have kind of imagined. Maybe I was up fucking making sure the gyros were locked in on. I don't know. There could be something on the roof that needed my attention. I don't know. But anyway, I didn't. I'm locked on the roof. I don't know how to get back off the roof. I got no tools. There's nothing up there, right? So I'm like, this is fucked. I'm going to have to call our maintenance guy. I'm going to have to tell him where I'm at. He's going to have to come get me. Or I'm going to have to like call one of my friends to come get me in the city. And it's just, I've got a couple of hours up here at the very least, and it's supposed to rain.
Call a neighbor.
My neighbor is the one that got me the gig as the building manager. There are other people I could have called. Yeah. I mean, if I really had stopped to think about it. What I did notice, however,
which lifeline would you like to use? Phone a friend, 50-50.
Right. Exactly. But I did happen to turn and notice that they'd left like a piece of steel. It was a real flat piece of steel, about this long, that was sitting out on the roof. And I figured later that what that was actually for was meant to prop the door open. And I'm just a moron, but we already knew that. And so I looked at it and was like, I am one step above a monkey in a tree, eating a banana and flinging poo. So if I were a monkey, what would I do with this here tool that I just found? Pry the door open. It fucking worked.
See, now that I was going to say, that's probably the tool to get back in, because somebody was going up on that roof to smoke. I bet you it was a smoking roof.
I mean, you had to like basically the way this works is that the stairwell that they built up into the roof is its own little, it's almost like a little closet that sits on top. The roof is flat, like except for this one little access point that they created. So it actually looks like a shed that's sitting on top of the 8-story building, which is to say that I monkey fucked the shit out of that thing and bent the frame is what happened. And the door latch came out, and like, I was pretty proud of myself for self-correcting on that. I got some good video. It's fun. I will never make that mistake again. but at least I know the bar's up there, and I know now how to not get locked on the roof.
Exactly.
That's great. You know, I learned something. But at the end of the day, I am just a monkey with a tool.
Monkey with a tool. That's
Monkey with a tool.
absolutely right.
Oh boy. I'm sorry. We're kind of rage recording this show right now because
Yes, we are.
Rob and I are both fucking whooped, but we haven't done a show in a while, and so we wanted to come back and at least give you guys something. And it's not much, but it's something because really, what else could we talk about but the fucking shit show that's happened with the election?
Oh, we could talk about Jaguar being a bunch of F-tards.
What did Jaguar do?
Oh,
We could talk about the
watch this and tell me if
all right, let's roll.
what you
it.
think.
All I'm gonna say is, what the fuck do the British know anyway? You know, I gotta tell you,
That's true.
the
That's
fact
very,
that you're-
very true.
The fact that you're rolling this video in our show and it's like a thing that we're going to talk about, I gotta tell you, one of the interesting things that's come out of this show is Rob and I are Rob's family, right? Like this is like doing a chat show with my brother. But that doesn't mean that we sit here and fucking talk to each other all the time.
No,
And
absolutely
he lives
not.
he lives in Texas. I live in California.
Those 2
some-
hours. That's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, right. But when we do the show, stuff like this happens for me all the time, where I actually have already seen that video, and I know what we're talking about, and I'm fascinated by the fact that you independently were like, "Let's do this," because what the fuck was that? That was a car commercial, right? Was that their attempt at a car commercial?
Yes.
Okay.
Apparently, it's part of their rebranding.
Well, they're going all electric, aren't they? Isn't that the whole
but
idea?
so is
behind
everybody
the
else.
tag?
But
yeah,
all the
but
other
they
car
stopped-
companies are still making car ads with cars in them.
Well, that I have no defense. The commercial is indefensible.
And
You know what it reminded me of? It
Director's
reminded
actually
me-
defending it.
It reminded me of well, of course they are.
And if you don't
do-
like the ad, it's because you're bigoted and all that other shit.
No, it's because I've already seen this ad once before. This is an iPad ad. This is a fucking Apple ad. That's
But they
exactly
said
what it looked
copy
like.
nothing. It's obviously all new and original. They've obviously copied
Nonsense.
nothing from nobody.
You talk for a minute. I'm gonna
Yeah,
full screen
okay.
yourself so I can go research something. Go to the
Oh,
thing.
okay, yeah. Wow. Nick Vicious actually going to do research on a show. Oh my God, this is like history in the making. Everybody.
I'm trying
mean,
to find. I'm trying to find the Apple ad. Just talk about.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, I want to watch you do the research. I'll talk and I'll vamp, but you're up on the screen, but man, because I mean, this is just unreal. It's uncanny. This is something that you don't do at all.
I'm so mad. I believe, as a matter of fact, that reintroducing this show was exactly part of the deal, that I would do no production whatsoever.
Well,
Why
yeah,
am I up on the screen?
but even
You're supposed to
before,
be on the screen.
but even before
Oh,
we
bullshit.
relaunched the show.
I brought that whole Nickelodeon guy in.
Oh, that's
Did
true.
I-
Okay, so you did
you
one
know.
thing.
That's great. That's like the best thing. I mean, how do I? So
That's
if I
one.
share this, if I share screen, does it show?
Yes. If
Share
you
screen
hit
is
present,
easy. Yeah,
share
but it's
screen.
easiest with two monitors. So we're gonna see like the backstage. I don't want to do that.
Or if you want to send me a link, I can download it and get it loaded in.
I think this is the ad we're talking about. All right, it's close enough. I think this is what I was thinking of. Hang on. No, the point I was trying to, and Rob's going to do the thing. How do I send the link to you in the chat in the studio?
Yeah, you
We're learning things right now.
in the private chat. Yeah,
Is that it? Post to Compson. I don't know how to do this.
comments, banners, brand, private chat. Fourth icon down far right.
Got it.
There we go.
It must make you feel bad to have to do this with all these dipshits all day. This is literally everything Rob does for a living, is teach people how to do this stupid shit. And for that, we're eternally grateful because but okay, you're previewing it. Is that not the same ad? It's okay. Same concept.
No, that was an ad before the
Ad for that. Damn it.
Yeah.
This is taking
Well, because YouTube, if you don't have YouTube Premium, you get those pre-roll ads.
I apologize for not being prepared.
I mean,
this
was spur of the
entertaining.
moment. This was
Yeah.
fun.
This was
And-
the reason we're bringing this up is because so it's not an exact copy of the ad Rob's loading right now. It is in fact I think just thematically it's the same theme. I think it's trying to convey the same basic message.
Oh, this is when they released that one phone with all the, oh gotcha. Yeah. I remember this.
This looks a lot like that Jaguar ad. It's the same concept. They're doing the Jaguar ad, obviously different people. It's not just a replay of the same footage or whatever. But when you talk about an entirely new brand concept, bullshit. The Apple did this already.
All right, you ready for it?
Yeah, show it, roll it.
Come along, catch a heffalump. Sit with me on a muddy clump. We'll sing a song of days gone by. Run along now, don't be glum. Get you gone now, have some fun. Don't be long for the end is nigh. Come along now. Run away from the humdrum. We'll go to a place that is safe from greed, anger, and boredom. We'll dance and sing till sundown and peace with abandon. We'll sleep when the morning comes and we'll rise by the sound of the bird song. Come along now. Run away from the humdrum. We'll sleep when the morning comes and we'll rise by the sound of the bird song.
All right, producer Rob, roll the Jaguar ad again.
Oh, and real quick, I'd like to point out that they misspelt the word molds. There's no U.
Copy nothing except for the entire Apple
Okay.
Retina ad.
Okay, but the the iPhone XR ad made sense because they were making phones in different colors. That was something revolutionary for Apple, right?
Mhm.
This Jaguar ad, I have no idea what the hell they were going for.
You don't even know what they're selling.
Exactly. Now, and they changed the font of Jaguar. They got rid of the cat. There's no car. So, and you have these random, I don't know what, male, female, androgynous, George Michael. I don't know. Okay. I know part of the backlash is, oh, it's woke. You have these. I don't care about that. Okay. I care about the fact that you have these weird ass looking people selling me something that I don't even know what it is.
And I don't understand how it's effective because, like, Jaguar people are Jaguar people. They're fucking.
And everybody knows that if you're going to buy a Jaguar, you have to buy a second one because there's always going to be one in the shop.
And so they're not making gasoline powered vehicles anymore. They're moving entirely
which
to
they're going to
electric.
rue that decision.
I don't know. Hey, listen, man, we're going to eventually have to get off of fossil fuel. I just wish it wasn't happening in my lifetime because it's
when it
throwing
happens
the entire
organically
world.
And naturally as the technology progresses and infrastructure is built out. Absolutely.
Well, you got to look
when
at
you
like
have
some of the
government
stuff-
assholes coming in saying, okay, by this year, you're going to be all electric. How am I going to charge the bitch when I'm on a road trip?
That's a bit of
I
a
can't
problem.
even go on a road trip because I can't drive that far. And
You
those
just take-
motherfucking
just
cyber
take a-
trucks from Tesla, stay out of the left lane, you big boxy pieces of shit.
All I
Get
gotta
off my ass.
say, all I gotta say, bro, is why is it gotta just be the cyber trucks? Why can't it be everything?
Because
Tesla?
that was the one that pissed me off this morning.
Oh well, we've talked about. I love.
I swear I
we've
drew
talked
that
about
thing
the
when I was
Tesla.
6.
We talked about these Teslas before. This has been a
I
past
know,
theme on
I
the
know.
show, these assholes. And like I said, I don't know if it's because they don't know how to drive or they just don't give a fuck about anybody around them. But Tesla drivers, listen, here's the truth. Teslas are what stupid people think rich people drive. And that's like listening to fucking Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is what stupid people think smart people sound like.
I never once thought that Joe Rogan was smart, but hey, okay.
Well, that's because you're not a stupid people.
Oh,
know.
that's true.
The stupid, yeah. And we're just in a really fucked up time. It's
And
not
honestly, the Cybertruck was created and designed by a guy who's a professional fucking troll who said, you know what? I'm going to make a truck that looks like this, knowing that rich people are going to buy it. Just
that
because
Elon?
they can. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of that. It looks like Homer's car, the one he built with his brother Herb.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
That
had
ruined
that had the bubble and it ruined
Yeah.
Herb. Yeah, it looks a lot like that.
And like the fins of a 1950s car. I wish they would bring those back, though. I miss the fins.
Why don't we just get you a rear scoop? A tail. What do they call that thing on the back?
Spoiler.
A spoiler.
Well, I have a spoiler, but I'm talking like the fins on the sides, you know?
Oh, like on the old Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
You know, on the rear. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's back when cars were cars.
Oh yeah. Unsafe, metal, smelt terrible.
Yeah. I
But
take
you
my
can
new.
do all the work yourself.
Yeah, that and I did it at certain times. I'm okay with my fancy electronic vehicle that has heated seats and Sirius XM, and I wish mine
Oh, yeah,
drove.
don't get me wrong.
Wish
I
mine
don't
drove
think I would
for me.
trade my shit back.
But anyway, back to the electric cars and having it forced down your throat. Change is not going to come easy. People don't want to change. Companies don't want to change. If you've already got money invested in making money in this fashion with fossil fuels, you don't want to change. But there's some stuff I've seen that it makes me think that this all might work out, like the way the Germans are doing some of their e-highways that have. I don't know if you've seen these videos. So a lot of the trucks that they're trying to run in the UK or in the Euro right now are electric. They're trying to make that transition just like the rest of the world. But what the Germans have done is really fascinating. They've created segments of highways that are called e-highways. And essentially on the far right lane, there is what it looks like the thing the buses connect to, are the trains, the Muni trains in San Francisco, or even the one train that runs through the entire fucking Dallas Metro, where it's got
like a light rail.
Yes, it looks like a light rail where it's got the charging tower that comes up off the back of it, and it makes contact with wires that are hanging down over a section of the roadway, and it charges these electric trucks while they're on that e-highway segment. It's not a continuous piece, but it's a place where they can do some charging while they're in motion. There's some good stuff coming down the pipe with all of that. But again, it's not going to happen until this, in a lot of ways, that's what the government is doing, is they are putting their fingers on that scale because they want to incentivize people to buy those vehicles because it's going to force the issue, right? And
then you find out that most of the vehicles on the market don't qualify for those incentives. There's one,
even if
that
they,
does.
dude, even if they did beforehand, they're not going to once Trump takes office. There's a $7,500 credit for electric vehicles that Biden put into place that Trump's going to cancel.
Only for certain ones.
I don't know anything about it. I don't drive an electric vehicle, but the point is that there's $7,500 that the government will give you to buy a vehicle in whatever that category is. And Trump is going to do away with that. And I just read this today. Gavin Newsom has said that the state of California is going to step up. And if that rebate goes away from the federal government, then the state of California is going to fill that gap for Californians anyway. And as a tax-paying Californian, may I just say, over my dead fucking body, am I going to give some?
Yes.
Am I going to
Look at
give
that.
some? Am I going to give some rich motherfucker $7,500 to go buy a fucking car? Fuck you. Go buy it yourself. I don't need to contribute that shit to somebody's fucking life. Give me $7,500. How about you just give it back to me?
You know what? Let me keep the $7,500.
Thank you. You're going to just give this shit to and so on a grander scale, my reaction is kind of the same way to the federal government offering that kind of rebate. That's fucking crazy, man. $7,500 or tax rebate or whatever, however we're doing this, it doesn't matter. I don't want to give you that money. That's not what I'm paying fucking taxes for, so you can buy a fucking electric car. I'm paying taxes for basic fucking services, like the goddamn roads that I'm now having sold back to me 1 mile at a time.
Yep.
Maybe if you would stop fucking doing shit like that, then I would be a little bit more on your side when you want to do tax credits for fucking electric cars, but not at my fucking pocket.
Yeah,
not because
absolutely.
that's bullshit. Either so we got money for all of this shit. Gee, we got to do some toll roads. Fuck you guys, man. Get out of my fucking pocket. You guys, the world is in a state right now where people my age, unless they have help or they marry into a family that's got some way to help us, we're having a real hard time buying houses right now. So you're going to take my fucking money and give it to somebody that already has a house because that's the only place you can have an electric car to charge it? What am I going to go do? I live in San Francisco in a fucking apartment building. Well, let's go get an electric car so I can go drive it.
Dwelling.
A multi-unit dwelling. So I think I can't keep that up anymore. I think the closest place that I can charge a car is down at the Safeway, which has got some stations out there, or there might be some stations at Japan Center. But I mean, how does this benefit me? And since it doesn't, why should I be paying for it?
I ask the same question every year when property taxes come around. Why am I paying these? Why is my money going to public schools that I'm never going to use? I don't want to pay for your bastard kids to get a shitty education.
It's literally across the street from your house.
Yeah. Actually, there's not even a street. It's literally across the field.
That's true.
But no, I have to help pay for that shit.
And it's the same thing. I'm a gay man, never going to have kids. Why am I being charged for education? Well, the reason is, and I will explain it, it's because and this is why the vouchers and all this other bullshit that they're trying to pull with the Department of It is just total nonsense. Parents have a right to educate their children any way they want. Yeah, well, then let them fucking pay for it themselves. Because as long as my money is involved, because I am contributing to the success of the society by making sure that the people that are coming after me are educated, they have opportunities to advance and excel, right? That's part of what we do. At least it's part of what we are supposed to do, is to leave something better than what we found it, right? That's how societies, the world's, what is the quote? It's something like, worlds grow powerful, stable. I don't remember what but basically worlds grow well when old men plant trees under the shade of which they will never know, right? It's because our job is to plant the trees, to plant the seeds. That's why we pay for the education. That's why you're paying for it. That's why I'm paying for it, is because we have a duty to society to make sure that we are, to make sure that we are leaving behind a better place. And that includes taking care of people's children that don't fucking belong to me, right? And that's how I feel about it. But when you're not allowing me a seat at the table to determine what we're doing with that money to educate those children, that's when I have a problem with it.
Oh yeah. And take it from me, you will be told you don't have kids, you don't understand. You can't have an opinion because you don't have kids.
Doesn't matter. You have my money. That's the opinion I'm expressing. And I don't care about what you think about your kids. That's fine.
You may love your kids. I think your kid's an asshole.
Well, that's why this teaching of fucking religion, like the shit they're doing in Oklahoma, is so problematic. Because
look, Oklahoma sucks.
Oklahoma does suck. I literally hope that guy ends up in prison. The education secretary in Oklahoma. Hope he ends up in prison for this Bible bullshit that he's trying to pull. Now, I have some friends and family that are in the education industry. One of the people that I'm the closest to, Shelly, she was my teacher in high school, and she's like part of my family and always has been. She was having a conversation today that I found kind of interesting, with actually another old classmate, about how let's just teach all religions. I'm for that. Let's teach multiculturalism and myths. Okay, because that's what all this shit is at the end of the day. I don't want you proselytizing to children in schools, but I think it's fair from a historical construct to talk about all religion, and let kids choose for themselves. But shoving your religion down some little kid's fucking throat that's almost an attack on the rest of us, you know. You guys, and the problem is this education secretary in Oklahoma, he knows better. They all know better. I don't want to fucking hear this shit where they don't know that what they're doing is counter to what the rest of us want, to what the norm in the country has always been. It is despicable behavior. If you want to, basically, the point is that those people, the people that are like that, they can't win on their message. And so they have to rig the game. And it's because you got to brainwash these little kids to get them early on. And it doesn't even work anymore. And that's the whole. I feel like we've been held hostage by a bunch of stupid people that finally figured out how to use the internet.
Yeah.
Like they really like
exactly
they used.
right.
I mean, am I wrong? Like they used to, there were always these people, but they were in their own little isolated corners. And then they learned how to use the internet and started connecting with each other. And then the richest motherfuckers in the society figured out how to start using those people against the rest of us. That's why we are where we are. I'm sorry, but the Trump guys, the MAGA people, that were so into draining the swamp and the secret government and the billionaire cabal. Do you guys recognize the fact that Trump is stacking his cabinet with the exact fucking people that you don't like in the first place? Have you noticed that? Or are you really that dumb?
Hold on. It's not that they're that dumb, but the MAGA movement, and trust me, I have seen this firsthand, secondhand, thirdhand. They're nothing but a bunch of dick riders. The orange man could do no wrong.
Right.
The orange man is smarter than all of us. The orange man is almost damn near a deity.
They have the
absolutely
ridiculous. And I'm not even mad that it came to this with all those people, because I think it was headed that way. But Trump's the guy that's the hill you want to die on. Because listen, the problem is the reason that he won is because Democrats suck and they can't win anything. And they're fucking, the problem is that Democrats serve the same fucking people.
Yep.
The rich fucking people.
That's all they care about.
Kamala Harris came out and said she had captured 330 is 30. I don't know how much farther the number went, but it was either 30 or 300. I know that's a big difference between the two of them, but stay with me. 300 CEOs in America endorsed Kamala Harris.
Yes.
And they published a fucking story about all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck cares? What's that got to do with me?
Yeah, nothing. I don't care. I don't care if the CEO of my company endorsed her.
So, on one, it's almost like at least the MAGA people are honest about it, which is fucking, that's the one thing they have been honest about.
Yeah.
Is that these are the people that they're going to put in place. And the Doge thing, the Department of Government Efficiency with Elon Musk and Ravi Shamaswek or whatever dude's name is.
Vivek Ramaswamy. Racist.
I got the first name right, didn't I? Vivek, it's Vivek, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, I got his first name right. Okay, and
yeah.
Ramesh.
Look, I am all for that sort of a department, some sort of government accountability, shrinking the size of the bureaucracy. Hold on, but I don't need to be trolled by Elon Musk.
They called it Doge.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I'm going to buy some of that Dogecoin here.
Why? Because it'll never go up. I think it's going to. No,
I think they're going to have another fanboy.
It was supposed to happen. It was supposed to happen when he was on SNL and said "to the moon," and that didn't happen.
I'm just saying, if I miss out on the Doge train because you talked me off of it, I'm going to be pissed. But what I do with my money is not really your call anyway. So if I do or don't, it's on me. I will give you that.
I mean, you
But
might gain a little bit, but
the point is that I agree with you, especially on this government efficiency tip, because remember the joke when we were kids about how it costs $600 to buy a hammer in the government or some weird number like that? That's the problem. That's the problem.
So on Twitter or X the other day, I saw a post where somebody posted a bolt, just a single bolt. All right.
Okay.
In a plastic bag.
Okay. How much did the bolt cost?
The bolt was being sold for like $400 to the government.
By Elon Musk.
Well, no, by whoever made that bolt, the government contract calls for that bolt to cost $400.
There were lots of stories during during the wars in Iraq and in the desert about how the contractors would get these vehicles and just burn them and leave them there. That's what we're talking about. That's the waste that I want to see eliminated. This idea that what they're actually going to do, and so here's the thing. That's not what's going to get eliminated.
No.
It's not. That is what you and I would interpret this thing should do. That is, in fact, not what they're going to target, because the guys selling the bolts to the government are Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk.
Yep. Or those types.
Those types. The waste that they're going to eliminate here is going to be people that they don't like.
Well, I mean, and honestly, there should be a lot of people cut out of the federal government. I mean, come on. You look at the size of the bureaucracy.
I don't know that, because I would say the last thing that you want. I mean, if you were talking about cutting CPB, I'm right there with you. I think those guys should all be eliminated. But as far as throw mama from the train at the DMV or the county tax of the government passport office, I don't know.
No, I'm thinking IRS agents, the IRS period.
What was then what? And then how do we do taxes if there's no IRS?
Oh, you can keep like the skeleton of the IRS, but you don't need armed IRS agents going around collecting people.
I mean, the T man is you. You turn me on to Archer and then totally fucking spaz out on the lessons that we learned about the T-Man in Archer. Okay? And no, that does not mean that Lana Kane was a transvestite or transsexual. She was a tax man. And that's how they got Capone. Okay? Alphonse.
And his vault. And they got his vault before Geraldo could.
Geraldo got the vault.
Yeah. No, but they got the contents of it before Geraldo could.
Maybe that's why there was no money in it.
Exactly right. Yeah. I mean, I'm all for them cutting people. I mean, as long like the lobbyists, the bureaucracy up there in DC, absolutely feel free to cut it down, because there are way too many government employees, way too many government jobs. We don't need that many government employees.
I just want to get me a government job. You know what I was looking at this week? I was looking at what it would take me to get onto the U.S. scientific mission down in Antarctica.
You want me to talk to my sister to see if we can get you a job at the State Department?
No, because I don't want to go to Africa.
Oh, you don't have to go to Africa. You can.
It's too hot.
Yeah.
Well,
you
I
can
mean,
put in for wherever you want to go.
If she knows somebody, yeah, let's get it on. Well, I could be a VC. Listen, you're telling me the government doesn't have video conference engineering? Of course they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could do that. I mean, I would love to. Yeah, I would love to do something like that. But
anyway. Why not?
Well, because you want to cut the government, so it doesn't sound like a good.
No, I mean, look, if it's going to benefit you to keep it around, then that's fine.
Then that's a true friend right there. He is
just
literally
to scratch my back when
he is literally willing to fuck everybody else just as long as it benefits one of us.
Exactly.
And that's what I appreciate about you.
That I mean, isn't that the capitalist way?
I'm not a capitalist. I have never had that. I don't
have the capital to be a capitalist.
Well, I've never had that drive for money. I think that the two of us, truthfully, are smart enough to roll with anything that we ever wanted to do. That's my big. I suppose that's my legacy. If there were a story about my life, that would be it. Is that I have conducted this life the way I saw fit. I never did anything that I didn't want to do. Come hell or high water.
Well,
There have been lots of times where
there was that
wasn't-
one thing, but
I don't know what you're talking about. We're going to leave it there. This is going to go into the after show conversation along with why the cops might be showing up at your house.
yeah.
No, I've always kind of just done it the way that I wanted to do it. And so that's led me to not be a wealthy person. Even though I think I always had the ability. Let's be real. I'm doing fine. I don't want for anything. I've got all my toys. My fucking apartment is so filled up with shit. All the rest of the toys are down at a storage unit. My truck's almost paid off. We're in good shape. I did well. But I'm not rich. And I don't know that that's ever going to happen unless the show takes off. And who knows if that's going to happen either. Who cares? I'm not doing this to get rich. We're doing it because Rob and I want to fucking bullshit with each other for an hour a couple times a month.
Exactly.
It's pretty much it.
And force people to listen to it
And they do. And they do.
And we appreciate that. We love you.
Do you know that they could go look at the clips. I think we got some clips with some serious views are getting up there. For just a couple of schmucks that the channel has less than 50 subscribers.
Yeah, which is more than okay.
We tend to punch it above our weight. But anyway, we did the hour. Got anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, I mean,
we did okay for being grumpy, and I'm going to go right back to napping after this is over with.
Napping, shoot. I mean, at this point, it's 8:30 your time. You might as well just call it a night.
Okay, well, let's do that.
Play some video games, and
my laptop's about to die. I never did plug it in. We got through this all on the battery.
All right, so
I thought that should have been a
closing
John.
Thoughts.
Well, Battery should be a John Mayer song, and it should go Battery. That's all I got. I got nothing else for a closing thought. Oh, damn it. Do you have the picture your wife fucking took of you earlier?
No, I don't.
God damn it. I don't even have the phone here because I have the picture. All right. So that's for the next show.
Oh, yeah.
It's
grunge era Rob.
I thought it was more like emo era Rob. Had the long hair down here.
Oh, no,
very dark.
She was going more for grunge.
Oh, well, then the song that I sang back to your wife was wrong, and I will have to.
But she thought it was hilarious, and she thought it was sweet.
Oh,
she liked it.
It was hilarious.
There you go.
Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Don't recognize my mind. That was it. Just some picture that Mrs. Rotten sent me of Rob with fucking long emo hair that we don't have a picture of.
It was fantastic. Yeah.
But you heard the song. So that's my closing thought. Rob Rotten, how about you?
Closing thought. Screw all of the government employees, but if it benefits you, it could stick around.
That is a true friend, people.
There you go.
Aspire to have friends who look at you the way Rob Rotten looks at me.
Fire them all, but keep him around.
Hey, amen to that. All right, we're out. See you later. Thanks, guys.